Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of WarPlan. And of course, we're playing as Germany this series. Now, I was asked about, can't I have some of the minor nations build some security forces to help deal with the partisans? Yes, I can. But there is a manpower situation here. You can see Germany. We are getting 41 manpower, I guess, per turn. Stockpile is 1,000 manpower. I am not entirely sure of the sort of replacement damage loss mechanics, because we can come over here and we can look at, like, this core is at 27 strength. I'm not sure how much of that is like equipment replacement that we can see here. This is explaining some of the mechanics. I'm just quite honestly not sure of the details. You know, the upkeep here for production, that's upkeep. We can do I have it set so it can do a maximum of 180 for reinforcement / upgrading to newer versions of whatever per turn. The sort of standard setting I think is 100, so I could lower that down to, you know, produce more new units as opposed to keeping the current units up to strength. I'm not sure when we come back over to here to see, is that purely only going to be replacing equipment or manpower, or I'm not sure, but that's part of the element of it. So right now Germany has, I presume, because I haven't played through this a lot, but enough manpower. So, and again, to describe some of the mechanics as I understand them. Once Romania is, well, we have to do it this way. Yeah, I don't like this UI terribly much, quite honestly. Varro's a good guy, and a lot of this is good, but you have to click on here. Currently, we see 17 production, 20 upkeep, stockpile of 7. So it's Turkey is ground into its stockpile, not upkeeping everything. And I can reduce, you know, reinforcements upgrade to 0, so that it's not doing that, building the stockpile, whatever. But we can come over here and look at it here, and we can see several things from Turkey, which I think are these various, you know, IC centers here that are sending these two numbers here, I guess, of, you know, production, oil and supply to Germany. So it is sending some of its capabilities to Germany, along with Bulgaria, Romania. You know, we can see big time like Persia and Romanian oil that's really helping out Iraq is a bit. Now we're sending back to Turkey 4 and 8, so they're sending us more than we're currently sending them. So we can send them back, and this is a bit of, I know you're hearing me, a lot of heavy breathing here. It's not a bad mechanic. I don't want to be too harsh on this, because I like the idea of controlling the miners in a game like this, not just Germany. How much, you know, how much should it be centrally versus sort of done in the miners? Now let's look at Romania for a second here. They have a production currently of 15, an upkeep of 8, a stockpile of 2. We can look over here. And my understanding, this production for Romania, which would stay where it is what it's actually using per turn. That's my understanding. Where it is getting from Germany 6 and 4. It is sending 5 back to Germany. So it's getting 1 more production cube. Now, all of these things are, to one degree or another, levels of simulation. To the best of my knowledge, during World War II period, Turkey did not make its own arms. To the best of my knowledge. I can be wrong about things like this, but to the best of my knowledge, it did not make its own arms. I don't know if it made its own munitions. Those are the things you shoot out of the arms in a firepower weapon. Whether it's artillery shells or bullets or whatnot. I would presume bullets it makes. I don't know if it makes artillery shells. No, I'm not an expert on Turkish production, but looking at a few things, including a friend of mine many years ago bought a Vickers machine gun. Not a complete one, a parts kit that he was going to complete out as a non-working display piece that was in pretty good shape. Now, it was a surplus one, and it was an 8mm Mauser, a Vickers machine gun, an 8mm Mauser, or 7.92, or whatever you want to call it. I've seen it also called 7.93, but yeah, you know the caliber. Well, it was made during the early stages of World War II in Britain for Turkey. Turkey, before the start of the war, had placed an order for a bunch of them because Turkey was using the 8mm Mauser caliber as its primary modern caliber. And Britain learned its lesson after the start of World War I, in which Turkey was relying upon Britain to produce some warships for itself, and Britain went, we're going to keep those, and didn't deliver them to Turkey. I think gave their money back, but didn't deliver them to Turkey. Well, of course, as you well know, Turkey ends up in the Central Powers. Talked to my friend Ari a lot about this. He really thinks they thought they were, lots of reasons. I think it was idiotic for them to get into the war. There was no good reason to get into the war. Well, I'm sure having the ships not delivered to them, not completed out and given to them, influenced their position into the Central Powers. It may not have, because Ari feels that, they really wanted Crimea back. They really wanted to get Egypt back. They were really, pushing for that. Well, maybe. And if that is their primary objective and they think they can achieve it, then it wouldn't have mattered if you delivered a few cruisers or whatever it was, 1 or 2 cruisers. It wasn't a lot of ships, but it was maybe it was just one significant ship. I don't know. Had delivered them to Turkey. That wouldn't have kept them out of the war if they were really pushing for territorial conquest and really thought they could get it and keep it. But if it was just sort of things are teetering in the balance, yeah. And so I know from that they weren't producing those weapons. I know they were buying lots of German weapons during and before World War I. We can go on other things. Nowadays, they do make because I'm more familiar with small arms. I mean, they make they made a bunch of APCs that are sort of like the American M113s, but out of steel instead of aluminum, so they were a bit heavier, if I'm not mistaken. They do make a HK clone series of weapons. So does Greece. They both have had. I don't know if Greece is still producing the HK weapons locally, but and I don't know how much of that local production was all the machining of the part or just the stamping and completion. I don't know, but so Turkey isn't, to the best of my knowledge, making any of its own firearms of any level. Same with, I'm sure, even more sure, with countries like Iraq and Iran. They're not making their own weapons. Now, Romania is. Hungary is. Yugoslavia is not. This is going off of memory and whatnot. Um, so, and Hungary and Romania are making their own tanks, but they're making them in the during the period of the war in the 30s and 40 or something production run of a tank, or 100 tanks during the war. So on the scale that this game is being played, that they're not able to whip up cores or whatever, um, is quite accurate, but maybe a bit more should be available to particularly Romania and Hungary, but not much. So that isn't, too unrealistic. A lot of these nations had built up large reserves of firearms, rifles and that kind of thing, and they just weren't able to produce large numbers of them. So that is why I haven't been producing, because here we have 180 manpower, Germany 8,000. Just build a German division versus building a German supplied but Romanian division. It just isn't that useful to do. Okay, so it just isn't. But I'm seeing here now we need to support our allies much stronger. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel the Turkish trade and Germany with Turkey. Because we're going to try to get things up there. So instead of more units, let's see if we have enough oil, so let's do another 8 there, create trade. Trade is created, new lines for both countries. Okay, did that work? Did that work? I did. I don't know if that worked. Okay, create trade. Rule trades before. Thought we did. Okay, trade. Let's come to Romania. Okay, there's a trade created. Turkey, I don't know. Let's try another 20. Okay, there we go. That for some reason it wasn't recognizing that I canceled them. Let's look back here at Hungary. Upkeep stockpile 2. Let's send them more weaponry. Okay, let's leave that, click on something else, come back, let's see if that will. Okay, that's working out well. I think you'll see them down here. They get added to the bottom of the pile right here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for Germany. We don't have much of a stockpile. Upkeep production. Okay, so we're going to do that. I think we're mostly getting ready to. Yeah, you moved out. You guys came back to port. You guys, German subgroup. Let's. Get you out to Brest or someplace so we can start properly operating you. There, okay. Well, I think moving you guys up would be a good idea. Let's take a quick look at supply. Now, if we need to, we have that one air base that is deployable and hopefully shippable maybe where we can need it, but okay, supply's doing reasonably well up here. Okay, that's just one of the things I was sort of concerned about. Move you up to here so you are. I know we're facing winter, which obviously is not good flying time, but still. No, we're not just going to bomb the bomb. Okay, well, we're doing reasonably good. I don't think there's anything Italian to deploy. Oh, no, we have a coastal. Okay, cool. Deploy. Oh, we do it into Trieste. I don't know whether we want to send them on a sea voyage or a railway trip somewhere. We'll see about that. But I wanted to have that either option. Put them on rails and port. Yeah. So, well, do we want him over here? But maybe we can get a lot of the way via. And of course, one, they had just been so slow moving. Two, the Italian forces are spread out. Do we have another HQ just laying around somewhere that we would be able to use? Maybe we should build an Italian. Okay, we have this one up here, of course, for those forces. We have this one for supposedly these. This is too big of an area. And we have one out here to deal with. The Americans are in the war now, but so to deal with that. Ooh, wow, they're. Let's move down here. Maybe you're close enough now for that. No, okay. Okay, well, let's give the Allies their turn. No, I'm not sure, but we're going to do it. Oh, we bombed down there. Nice. Maybe we need to move an air power further out that way. Well, it looks like they're moving back. Defend Moscow a bit better. And over attack by pincer movement. It's stalled out. Okay, volunteers join the Waffen-SS. Germany gains 60 manpower. Germany intercept. Yeah, we already know their maximum close support advancement for Italy. Good. Italy's lacking. Persia's lacking. Turkey. Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, we saw the air attack down here. We've moved one of the air. We've moved an additional air unit down here. So I think we're gonna fly him down here. So leaves us two up here, and we'll have another here. Hopefully, these guys are on. Well, could be bombing airfields, but they're on full support as opposed to mission only. No, they're on full support. That's the way they need to be. So if they can, they, you know, range, whatever, they should be intercepting attacks. Okay. Well. Okay, maybe we can finally bring down this mech core. Because I know that that unit is there, but for Nate was able to achieve not using it. Very good. Repairs have been doing. That, no, undo. There we go, we got mints back. We need the supplies to flow, and we're seeing other partisan forces appear back here. Okay, are these guys ready for another? No. We're just holding the line then, okay. We couldn't take that down, too bad. I have to remember that this is winter. That still scares me there. Just because it's telling me the harbinger of what's to come. Okay, they're getting somewhat effective in some of their moves here. I'm not liking it. Okay, well. Oh, good. You were able to, there we go. There we go. I want to get the rail supply coming as much as possible. Let's just end this. Well, that isn't going to end this. Well, that doesn't end it either. Okay, oh, very good, finally. Again, not that we didn't have other supply routes. Just reducing these cores down. take over sort of that frontline duty there. Let's not forget that we still have some air power here. Maybe we should attack that. Yeah, taking out that armor unit would be juicier. Much juicier. Too far back, okay. All right. That would be of greater force, so let's... Well, I fell back, damn. You get to move up. Oh. Oh. Okay, well. We would potentially face a pretty big hit there. The snow is slowing all of this movement up. Damn, if we could just attack, we'd probably do pretty well. Well, don't forget, oh, it's double secret super rain or snow. Oh man. Yeah, that probably wasn't worth it. No, let's undo that. Can we swap out and not enough action points? So okay, we'll go to there. Yeah, this is the... Well, now that we are more secure, up to there. Let's just mess with these guys a bit. Do we have no nothing ready yet. Coming next turn we will have units. Well, doing a nice job keeping them together and under HQ control. Let's move up some air power. Oh, what if we were to... it would be better to move over to here. Put bombs on these. Partially what I'm trying to do with this unit here is looking at other German units that I don't want to have develop a huge, shall we say, front of Allied forces. You know, non-German, just Axis allies. Because facing whether it's that unit there or like a unit like that, we're facing a rather full strength 2 or 3 of them start crushing some of these smaller forces. Yeah, I think down this way is the way to go. Yeah, that's a little better there. Okay, building, I'm still on my mind here. Okay, we have a decentish stockpile. All these partisans, I think we need more. I think I'm going to build them down. They may upgrade over time, cost me eventually, but what? And this isn't the limitation. This is just the pre-named divisions here, if you will. Meaning this is the limitation up here of how many of these can be built and how long it's going to take to get them. So we're not going to see them until March, but yeah, not too far off. That will definitely help. Where's ours? Oh, there they are. We don't want to get too close to Iceland, as we get. Oh, we can go down to here. Do a little bit of sinking of vessels. Oh, there's some Americans. Okay, they're at fairly good strength. Now, what I think we should see about doing, well, let's start with these guys. I don't think we need any more battleships in the Black Sea. We control all of the ports. So let's head out to here. That's where I found these the other day here. Somehow I lost them to here. Yeah, they could be useful in dealing with invasion forces. This is the Turkish Navy. Oh, and Italian submarines. Well, let's then select these two. Get them over to there. I don't know how useful the Turkish Yazov battleship group would be. Maybe better than nothing, and the Romanian Ferdinand DD group. Well, let's at least get both of them together into the same spot. So that way we have some battleships and some destroyers to be able to operate. All right, well. Okay, many of you, oh, well, let's look at here. Right, okay, yeah, so just going to be, oh, that could be a problem, so let's, I mean, it might be a spawning of a unit. Since we can march to there, and since we can march to there, I'd rather deal with that. Okay, let's head in that direction. That flashed and went away fast. Okay. Okay, well. Let's move you up this way. We can get you onto the railways. We need to move you around fast. You know all about the Russian counteroffensive after, you know, they get to, oh, I don't know, approximately here on the, or well, somewhere here. They were, the leading elements could see the spires of Moscow or something like that, they say. I wonder how true that is, but a little closer than we've gotten. But I'm looking here, and I don't think we need to take this sort of pounding. So let's just fall back a bit. I don't, between weather, supply, and other conditions, I don't think we need to fight for every inch of territory or not being willing to withdraw back. They may pursue, but well, yeah, that's awfully weak. Let's get that back to there. That's a little better. We're still going to look at. Oh, we look. Maybe we should see about 4-1. That would be a good attack. Do we have any air left in the area that hasn't operated? You're too far back, so we're going to move you up to here and then attack. You're too far back, so you're going to come up to here, and then attack as well. I was just going to move you up anyways, but right. No attacks for you. Okay, well, now I know this guy's weakened even more, and they may attack, but they may have attacked anyways and just hoping to break that a little bit more. He may just retreat. Oh, don't know if they have they have a stacking limitation. You come back to there. That way, maybe they'll retreat back if hit too hard to there. Give them some options. Well, we're going to end the episode here. Come back next time to see the mostly Soviet reaction to what we're doing. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment. I very much try to read and reply to all comments as much as possible. So please do so. You can give me advice. I may not take it. I'm not that smart, so I may not take the advice. But yeah, love to hear from you. See you next time for more historical gaming.